What is up, my niggers? How have you all been? I have been great myself. Sorry I haven't been making videos recently, mostly due to the fact I haven't had a capture card to record with. Now I do, so let's get on with it. Welcome to another tutorial on Redstone, apart from the RCD. Another tutorial on Redstone. This one here is basic contraptions that I have used in my builds, tic-tac-toe, computer. Some of these have been in those. So I thought, why not share it with you guys? Some of them are quite cool, some other people don't know about them, or if you just want to start learning redstone, this is a good place to start. Get all these down. So we're going to start off with the T flip-flop. What this does is makes a button act like a lever. How it works, simply turns off these torches, which then pushes that. Now, pistons can't push one another if the other one is extended. That's how this takes advantage of that. See, it turns off the output. Press it again, turns on the output. Now you could also put another output here, so one of them is on, one of them is off, and you can just toggle separate things. So I can put two pistons down there, well, one's on, the other one's off. You just toggle it like that. So it's quite good for doing that kind of stuff. So we're going to move on now to the toggleable OR gate, is what I call it. But it's not really an OR gate, but it's just, I just call it that. So how this works is you press the button, goes to this little mechanism here, and then turns on that indefinitely until you press the reset button. So to show you guys that will stay on indefinitely, that piston, until you hit the reset button. You could always add a manual reset, an automatic reset, sorry, to these, which will then automatically reset after a certain period of time. So we could have that here. I'll put a little one down for you guys. Exactly how it works, like that. Like that. Just like that. Other way around. I'm drunk today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm drunk. Alrighty, so that's how it should go. That's probably much better now. So we press the button, turns on, resets after a certain amount of time. That's quite a nice thing to have, actually. I use it in a lot of my builds. This one here is 2 blocks wide, 1 block high. I've built another version of this myself. I only thought of it yesterday. Haven't seen it anywhere else. Which is the same concept, but except it's 2 blocks high, 1 block wide, and it's very good for putting in rows. So you could use this as like a saving mechanism for a computer. That's what I'm going to have on my computer. There. I'm going to put this in. So what this does, exactly the same thing. It just works exactly the same way, no worries about it. So here we're going to move on to this little device here, which is basically just an inverter gate. Simply press the button, turns off that. Very easy to use, a lot of people use it. It's very simple. Can work the other way as well. So we're going to move on here now to, this is like a basic, sort of like a safe lock combination thing. You pull the levers down, get the right lever combination, it'll open up the door or whatever you have it set to. Right now I've just got it set as a piston, which is quite easy. You can move these around very easily. You just move that block. Same setup to maybe one of these other ones. You can have as many of these as you like. So if you want to have, say, you could put it like this, and now it would just be the 2 side ones that'll turn it on. If you pull down one of these, it won't work. So that's how you can easily change that around. There's harder versions of this, but this is the easiest way. Next one is the same sort of concept design sort of thing. But this one here shows you can have 3 inputs. You can have actually as many as you like. I just have 3 here for a demonstration. 3 inputs, which will then turn on that once all 3 inputs have turned off. Now these they must always be on to begin with. Otherwise it just won't work if you have them all off. Because then it will be a NOR gate. A real NOR gate. Where it's anything will turn it off. Any of these levels will turn it off, no matter how many of them you have pulled. So we're going to move on now to a clock. This clock is very basic and is very fast. So here you could have a door or whatnot. It just goes really fast. You could have a dispenser dispensing arrows at somebody once they put a lever. You can set it up as a trap. All sorts of different ways you could use that. So now here we'll move on to this one here. This one here looks quite complex. It's not that hard. Simply you press this button 3 times and it will then turn on this. So I'll show you guys that now. Press the button once, twice, 3 times, and it will turn that on. Right now, you could hook that, right now it's just like a button, you could hook it up to one of these, here, which will then toggle it indefinitely until the reset button is hit. Now that's easy to make. I will show you guys how to make that now. You simply want to go up 1 block, along another block, up, and 1 there. Simply like that, you have 2, and then 1. You want to get rid of these 2 here, and dig 1 down. In there, you want to place down a redstone torch. Oh no, sorry, I've done that wrong. You want to have that there, and a hole there. There you want to place a redstone torch, and there you want to have just redstone. 1 there, 1 there. On the outside you want to have a redstone torch there, right there like that. Come along here, just place down the redstone. Exactly like that, that's how it works. And you want to add, see the inputs on, so you just want to add an inverter block. Just like that, which will then power the piston. Simple as that. So now when we press the button 3 times, it'll turn that on, and it will stay on until you reset it. Simply put the reset button there. So that's how that works. The next one here, we have a button, a lever acting like a button, which is very good to build. I've got that set up on my computer, so when an input comes along, it'll turn it off if you don't need a button input. See, now to change these, you just need a button. You can only have a button, I think. So that one there, that's what you can put on to change these along. So once you've done that, you can just simply put these here, these repeaters, set them to anything you want, any delay, as long as you like. You might have to put it, if it's too long, you might have to put a repeater in here. Which you must have on the redstone comparator, you must have that light on. So pull the lever, turns it off after a short delay. You can set the delay out to whatever you want, so I'll just turn all those down, and it simply turns it off much faster. So here we move on to the exactly the same thing as that sand thing I showed you, this, but except not using any pistons. So this is more for the advanced user of the same thing. How this works is, let me just reset it, is it comes along here, you press that, no current will flow through here. How the comparators work, if there is a current here or redstone here, it won't let the redstone flow through this way. It'll only go this way. So now we have the redstone going along here, which will turn that off, and it will stay off. Once it's stayed or turned off, it'll then turn these down off, which will then let the redstone flow through this. So I'll show you guys a demonstration. It'll let that go, which will now allow redstone to pass through that. And the same again, redstone will pass through it, toggle the output. Now to make it not toggleable, you could always add this into it, which will then make it just act as a button, and it won't stay on indefinitely. So now with this thing here, it's actually quite good. You could reset it. So you click it once, and you click it again, and you figure, oh, I don't want to do this. You just reset it, and you just restart. So that's all those. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something today. That's what I'll try and teach. If you guys want me to put any of these in like a build, or you guys want me to show you something building these, or you actually even want me to teach you how to build some of these, then just leave a comment or something like that. Like and subscribe please guys, that helped me out a lot. Thank you guys for watching.